Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today we are going to be jumping back down into the charts for VeChain to see what's been going on most recently and what I expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe? Tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free to join, so why not go ahead and check it out? I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. Right, let's get into this. Right, so VeChain paired up with USDT, hourly chart, Binance is the data source. Now, I was actually expecting this to come down a little bit lower, but obviously we've invalidated this by going past the wave one low. Okay, so I'll quickly just show you what that looks like. I'll just throw on this. You can see that we just wicked past this level here. Okay, so this basically invalidates any fifth wave going down lower. So then it's got me into thinking, did I mismeasure something? Have I got something slightly off here? And that has led us to believe that this was not our fifth wave low, because it's possible that this was. So let me just do some quick checks here, because I want to just make sure that I haven't necessarily missed something. So we've gone clearly here. Okay, then that. Okay, so it is possible that we have that coming down. Let me also just check down here as well. I mean, from this point, yeah, right here to here, we move down to the 2.618. Okay, so I think we're going to have to just measure this slightly differently then, because this would potentially be our third wave, this being our fourth, and this being our final fifth wave. And it was an overextension on what we were looking at previously. So we'll also take a look at this move just here, move this over to here, and we come down to the 786. Okay, so again, a little bit overextended, but nothing too amazing. So yeah, I think that marks the end of our fifth wave, which is basically right in here. Now, I do want to just check that extra wave as well, because this is the one that really matters to me, which is a bigger play. Just going to make sure I get that exactly right. Let me just check in on here. Yeah, so yeah, about there. Okay, then we move this over. I have to put it there. Yeah, okay, so I did mismeasure that. Okay, that is... Sorry, no, I didn't. I have to go here. Sorry about that, guys. Let me 1 sec. Let me just put that back up there. Perfect, okay. Yeah, I did mismeasure, so that's on me. Apologies for that one. I'm not quite sure how that happened. But essentially, this actually should be here, and this one should be here. Okay, so this is basically 5.286 and 5.528. And here you can see that we actually just touched that 1.236 area. So now that actually makes a lot more sense from that structure point. So it did get me wondering, as I started to see this reversal, what on earth was going on here if we haven't met that minimum target, and we actually have met the minimum target. So that's on me. Apologies, guys. I'll make sure that I use that magnet a bit more often. Right, let's move on. Let's see what's going on here and what is the opportunity next. Okay, because we are on a bounce for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's looking pretty good, and VeChain's kind of following suit, right? So we have this reversal structure. We've gone higher than the wave one lows, and now we can actually start to see some good movement. So we want to just do some magnet checks here as well. We want to see the high point here to the low point here, and we want to just go ahead and move this over to this point. Now, that's an interesting one. It hasn't necessarily met the requirements for what I think is actually going on. So I think we might have to actually go micro scale here and just move this one to here. Here we clearly hit the highs, so that's fine. So that's an easy one to kind of chalk up. That's a shame that that's not quite where you want it to be. But essentially that still could work out really, really well. But you would have to then potentially mark out some of these additional ones. So let me just throw that back on there for a moment and throw this one here. Okay, so it's looking, I think this is probably the best way of looking at it at the moment as an A, B, and C wave. I think we're moving down a little bit following Bitcoin here, but I don't think this is a 5-wave structure, which is a little bit disappointing. But I do think that we have the ability just to chalk this up a little bit of a correction here, coming down just a fraction more. So I'll throw that into here. Okay, so I think what we've got going on, let me just make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it, okay, is another, we've had A, B, C up, and we're actually tracking some kind of A, B, C coming down. So I think the next target is 5884. Okay, that seems to be a pretty interesting point where we might want to accumulate. Bitcoin's ready for another surge upwards, so I would anticipate that VeChain could also gain a few percentage points on here. Hard to know exactly where it's likely to go, but I do think there's going to be some interesting moves to be had here, and I think the momentum's going to be there. But when we bring the stochastic RSI back into play, we can see that we are correcting down right now. So pulling the stochastic RSI down, we need to obviously bring down into this slightly lower range. Now, I don't think we're going to go all the way down to oversold, simply because Bitcoin's already almost in the oversold area and ready for a reversal back up again. So when Bitcoin starts running up, I think we'll see the reversal here with VeChain as well. So I'm not expecting a huge correction. I think 5.884 seems to make the most amount of sense. Small correction for VeChain, small correction for Bitcoin, and then a slightly larger surge upwards. No targets really set on that, but we can look at resistance and support lines to really understand where we think things are likely to go. But VeChain does seem to be looking for the reversal as we continue to think about the bounce upwards. As I kind of zoom on out of this, right? So if I come up into our daily chart here, you get an idea as to what I've been thinking for quite some time, and that is a big 5 waves coming up. No real guarantee as to where it's going to go, but I do see some major resistance at about 7 cent. So I'm thinking 7 cent is pretty much a good area to maybe come into this one, thinking some kind of short-term move, about 17% at this point, because of that low not being all that low overall. So a bit of a push upwards on VeChain. I think that's a pretty good position. A slight pullback with a B wave, don't know where that's going to go, and then a final C wave higher, and then that will be followed up by 5 waves coming down when Bitcoin drops down in towards the $34,000 range, for example. Okay, so that's the structure we're looking for: 5 waves down, 3 waves up, 5 waves down. Okay, so a 535 ABC correction. Okay, it's a corrective pattern that I see here. So that's kind of what we're looking for VeChain. We're pretty much on track. Apologies that I miscalculated that precise 5th wave low. That's really frustrated me, but we are now on reversal. We are looking to track on up. I would say that 7 cent is the most obvious area for that A wave to finish. We've got to get this daily stochastic RSI to the overbought area, so we're going to go up, down, and up again, just to make sure that happens before we pull back down into this next 5 waves down. So overall, I think there's a lot of potential here for VeChain to progress quite nicely, along with Bitcoin, of course, and then do be prepared for that next 5 waves to come down afterwards. Though, guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this brief technical analysis on VeChain useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.